Hey everybody, what's going on? Haven't posted any new videos for a little bit, mainly because I felt like shit for a while. I don't know, got sick and then ended up with this pneumonia that's going on right now. So slowly getting back into my shop, trying to get a few things caught up for myself and a few other customers. So I figured while I was doing the video of fixing my Camaro here that I should probably do a short video to show you guys one way of doing a fuel pump in one of these cars that is a little different than maybe you've seen from the normal drop the tank thing. So for those of you guys that want a little bit different way of doing a fuel pump and you don't care a little bit about cutting your car up, this is one way you can do it. Personally, I've done the other way 1,000 times where you drop the tank out of a vehicle, do the fuel pump, but this way I made it so if I'm anywhere on a vacation or a trip or anywhere outside of town, if the fuel pump ever goes bad on me, literally with a screwdriver, I can replace it. I don't have to go through the pain in the ass of dropping the exhaust, lowering the axle, all the other stuff, doing the fuel tank and the fuel pump in one of these vehicles. So anyway, on to what I've done to my car. So just so you know, I did diagnose this and test it to make sure that this pump was bad before I did this. But on these F-body cars from 99 to 2002, that's just 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, those 4 years, they have a plastic tank. So if your car has a plastic tank, you can do this mod. If it has a metal tank, I don't know if I'd recommend doing it because the hole you have to cut is substantially bigger. So basically what I've done is I have cut a 7 1/4 inch hole with rounded edges on it, and it's 7 1/4 by 7 1/4 inches. And I will say I probably would go a little bit smaller just because I didn't realize this was right in the way, and I got really lucky and I was careful. I did not cut into this evap hose, but just so you're aware, that is right there and it touches the metal. So if you're not careful, you'll slice right into that. So I suggest making your cut from this point to this point, maybe 6 1/2 inches to be safe. But across here, 7 1/4 inches. And then why I like to radius the edges on this is just so you don't deal with sheet metal cracking. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build actual panel that fits over the top of this and then screws in place, and then use some seam sealer or some rubberized sealer that they use for these things. I can't remember what they use from the factory when they do these access panels, but something similar, like a rubberized sealer that stretches, that will seal the gap, but also will make it that you can take it apart again in the future. And again, the reason for me doing this is so if I'm anywhere, all I have to do is lift my carpet up right here and take a couple of Phillips screws out, and I can pop my fuel pump out on the road. And I don't have to deal with the 4-hour labor time of doing the fuel tank or needing a hoist or paying somebody to do it. So if you guys are not afraid to cut your car up a little bit, this makes a nice little access panel for testing your fuel pump or replacing your fuel pump. So anyway, when you buy a fuel pump from GM or your aftermarket pumps, a lot of them come with a new plug. So what I've done is I've wired in my plug first before I get my fuel everywhere, just because it's got heat shrink tubing on here and I didn't want to have the torch out with, you know, raw fuel. So basically how this wires up is large gray to large gray, large black to large black, purple to purple, and you have a orange with black tracer to a black with a black with white tracer. That's how that wires in. And then I will cover it up with a show loom. This is the loom that they use on show quality wire harnesses when you build kind of high-end stuff. You can use the regular corrugated loom, but I hate using that stuff. I like using this. It actually slips tight and it will open and expand depending on how many wires you have in there, so it fits tight against it. And I just like it. It looks better and it doesn't rot like the plastic does as well either. So anyway, enough of me jabbering. Next step is knock the lock ring off here, undo the lines, pop the fuel pump out, and set the new one back in, relock ring it down, put the lines back on, clip these on, and I'm done, besides building my access panel. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that pump in now, and then I'll come back when everything's hooked back up and show you guys that, and then do another little follow-up on how I made the panel to fit over this, to cover it all up. Okay, pumps back in, lock rings down, 2 new wire harnesses are in, and my new, whatever type of loom that is, I can't remember. Anyway, it's in place. Good for another 20 years. And vroom vroom, it goes fast again. So yay, it's fixed. Now I'll take care of that cover, show you guys how I made that, and this job is one more done. Okay, here's a patch panel I made up, and for those of you guys that don't have the flanging tool, you can just set that over there. As many sheet metal screws as you require, a little bit of sealant here, and you're good to go. Put your carpet back, project's done. For those of you guys that do have the flanging tool or want to know what I'm talking about, I'll show you. This is a flanging tool for doing sheet metal flanges, and basically what that does is it puts a little 90 lip on a piece of sheet metal for doing overlaps. And for my project, I'm going to go ahead and do it on that so it sits a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and flange that out and show you guys what it looks like done. It's kind of a crude flange. I just didn't really care because it's going to be covered by carpet anyway, as you can see. But I did just throw on a pretty crude flange on there, and then I just put some paint on it just really quick to help keep it from rusting. And then I did stamp a little T towards the forward part of that, just to indicate the top and the forward portion, so when I take it off next time, because after I get the holes drilled around the perimeter, you know, it's not going to be exact, so it lines up every time I want to put it back on. So that's definitely not the best flange I built. Again, it's not a show car, and I really don't care today. I just want to get this back running and make it, again, this is for people that want to make a fuel pump accessible on their 99 to 2002 Camaros. Took me what looks like, according to the clock, about an hour and a half total to do everything, take it apart. Then I got another 5 minutes just put these panels back on, the carpet down. And that's what I will mention. I didn't cut the carpet at all. The carpet just naturally lays over the top of there. So your carpet stays uncut, and unless somebody pulls it back or they take the fuel pump out from the bottom, they'll never know that this is done. And again, if it's sealed correctly, you know, you don't have to worry about any fumes or anything else. And it's really, honestly, it should be done there in the first place. They should have made an access panel like that in the first place. Most new import cars have an access panel for the fuel pumps underneath the back seat. So the whole theory of, you know, it opens up a hole in the passenger compartment is kind of null and void, because I've done a lot of fuel pumps on cars that have access panels inside the passenger compartment to do the fuel pump without pulling the tanks. So again, when I'm doing something, unless it's going to drastically alter the performance of the vehicle or it's going to affect it in some way that bothers me, I'm not going to do it. But this, to where, you know, I'm on the road and I can change a fuel pump easily in like 10 minutes, yeah, I'm going to make this mod to my vehicle, because I don't want to be stuck somewhere, a fuel pump goes out and I have to pay a shop, you know, $500 for a fuel pump and another $400 labor to do something that I can do in 10 minutes if I prepped it right in the first place. This car has over 200,000 miles on it, had the original GM pump on it. Pretty sure about that. How do I know that? Because GM changed the plug on the older pumps to the new ones. It used to be a square 4-pin plug, and most of the new ones are a flat 4. So unless it was replaced in the first couple of years of the vehicle's life, this pump's never been replaced. And when it went out quick on me. It was a drastic loss of power in just a couple of miles to where it barely ran. So anyway, this again is for you guys that want to think about stuff in the future, make stuff easier on you if you don't want to have to pay someone to do the work for you. So thanks for putting up with me and my pneumonia sickness. Hopefully I'll be feeling better soon to where I can get back to the C10 and do some other stuff. I mean, there's a little bit of preview for you guys. I have been working on a little bit. I'll just, you know what the hell, I'll show you guys really quick in this video. The inside, I did do the dash. The dash is primed out. The rest of it's been epoxied, and I've started doing the sanding, you know, here and there a little bit, trying to get it blocked out, getting ready for the second coat of primer. So I am still working on that a little bit. Again, have a few other projects, some paying customers that need to get done. So I'll have to do those as well in the next week or two, hopefully. Again, everyone, thanks for watching. You know, your comments are appreciated. So far, you guys have made some awesome comments on all my videos. I've got nothing but positive feedback. I really, really appreciate it. In my line of work, you deal with a lot of assholes, and you never get appreciation for anything you do. Just fix my car and get me back on the road. So when anyone comments me or gives me some positive feedback on my work, it is appreciated. So again, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the comments, and I will try and post some more content that you guys like in the near future. Until then, thanks again for watching. Good night.